I cannot find is my nail clippers, which doesn't sound like an issue, but then when when you really need your nail clippers and you can't find them anywhere. And I'm not gonna buy a new pair, but then I couldn't find my shampoo, so I had to go out and get more shampoo. And then I can't find the charger for my camera, so who knows where that is? It's anywhere, anyone's guess. I can't find. I had a small TV. Can't find that using a computer speaker. I have a small subwoofer. Can't find the speakers for it. It's been a mess. And every time I walk into my new place, there's just boxes and things waiting to be unpacked. It's been bananas, but yeah, it's nice to be in a new place. It's exciting.
I mean, it takes a long time. Shannon and Anthony moved fairly recently, within the past few years, myself as well, about 2 years ago. And I know how crazy it is. Like, I still have a room. It was like the room I was most excited to have in my new house. And I haven't been able to use it once. Like, within the first month, we put a trampoline in it for the kids. And then it became like, oh, you know what? We took down the Christmas tree. We don't want to like carry it upstairs yet. It goes in that room until we're ready to like really get rid of it, So you got plenty of time to be a normal human being there. You're good.
Yeah, every time I walk in, because of course everyone's like, oh, I want to come over, see your new place. And I can't stop apologizing. Oh, sorry for the mess. Oh, I don't have any furniture yet. So, yep, that's just, you can sit on this stool. Here you go. I don't have anything to feed you. You can drink tap water out of a mason jar. That is, just finding things so.
I love the call out about
I
love the call out about the nail clippers because like I don't bite my nails. I used to many years ago and I don't anymore. I clip my nails. And when I decide that it's time, it needs to be done post haste. It needs to happen very soon. And it's such when I realize like I'll be at work or whatever, I don't really go to work that much anymore, but I'll be out or whatever and look down and realize, okay, this needs to happen soon. It's not a good feeling.
And that's all you can notice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a good feeling. I'm sorry to hear that.
You guys got to figure out the hack and just keep putting nail clippers everywhere. Like I have a pair at work. There's a pair in my upstairs bathroom, downstairs bathroom. And my favorite place to do it weirdly is outside because I don't like cleaning up anything. So I'll just
me too.
It's the best.
Yeah, me too. I've done that.
Shannon's face says otherwise. She's not into it.
Is it true? Does he just let them fly?
She doesn't want to talk.
So that's why you wear the glasses. You got to protect those eyes.
I don't want to start off on a negative note. Let's just.
You will. You'll find a way. It's okay.
I was kind of hoping this would be like an SNL roast against Anthony tonight too. So.
And it should be. It should be. It's going to be good. I like this dynamic of this group too. I think it's going to be really good. But Shannon's not going to hold back. So. I'm not upset about it.
I can't wait. Like she's already drinking tea. Yeah, tea.
Sips tea. Yeah.
So we already have a bunch of people in the chat. Mike, Chris, Kyle, Ralph. Thank you guys for joining us. And Hardshell Herps. I don't know who that is by the name, but thank you so much for joining us. I guess we'll roll in and get talking, guys. Here we go.
Woo!
And for everybody watching, this is my first time running the show, so if there's hiccups, I do apologize. But
you're going to be great.
Welcome to the Pondcast, the destination for insightful discussions and interviews on the appreciation, conservation, and husbandry of reptiles, with a focus on turtles and tortoises. Now, let's join our team of turtle nerds.
Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Pondcast. Let's see. What episode is this? It's episode 108. So welcome back, everyone. We are your hosts. I'm Emily, joined here today by Kevin. And then two of our guests today are Anthony and Shannon. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
Shannon, what did you think about the video lead-in?
Mine was all jumbled, so all I saw was you with a mask on.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you missed all the Chris Leone clips and everything. That's okay. That's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
I was
sorry about that.
I was expecting you to give us a hard time. It's like Phil Dunphy in Modern Family when he trips over the step for like years going up, and every time he says, "I got to fix that step," it's like we don't think about it, and then it's podcast time, and it's like, "Ooh, we got to fix that video." We've been saying it for Emily's been a part of the podcast for like 15 months, and here we are.
I thought you were
Yeah,
going to say
so
15 years.
I'm literally the worst with
Not
it,
quite.
and that's my apologies. I've apologized every single episode it gets brought up, but I will make good on it. I am gonna have some free time very soon. I'm spending 7 days in a car with nothing else to do besides smell Anthony's farts and edit video. So
Oh, wow.
we're gonna have a lot of fun together.
He went there early. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kev, that's not a dig at you. Like, I know how to edit video too. This is an us problem,
Mhm.
not a you problem. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. At any point, any one of us could have done it too, but you're our scapegoat, so you just.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was brought onto the team. They're like, look at this guy. He could be a perfect scapegoat nonstop. And I'm just appreciative, so I take it,
Yeah, of course.
That's fair.
But I don't want to talk. I want Shannon to talk.
Whoa.
This is a Valentine's Day
Yeah.
special, and she's the guest of honor. While I know Anthony's also a guest, I mean, I talk to him regularly. I don't want to talk to him. So
Make no mistake.
Shannon,
I'm going to
This is all
talk.
about you.
I'm going to talk. Okay. But yeah, you can
Yeah,
talk
happy
to Shannon.
early Valentine's Day, guys, by the way.
Happy
Thank you.
Valentine's
too.
Day.
Yeah. And we're celebrating something special today because Anthony and Shannon have something very special happening tomorrow. Do you guys want to tell us what it is?
Anthony?
No, they said they wanted to start with Shannon. That would be you.
Oh,
So, yeah.
our book is coming out, Turtley Devoted.
Now, it doesn't
Yeah.
come out tomorrow, though. It doesn't come out tomorrow. It comes out Wednesday. Valentine's Day is Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, oops. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I thought that was tomorrow. Okay. All right. You have an extra day to build
Yeah.
anticipation.
Big things happening here.
Shannon, will you tell us a little bit about your new book?
Big things happening.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember when we started writing it. It feels like it's been a couple of years. I don't know, was it before or after we started doing our podcast, Anthony?
It was after. We've been doing that
Wow.
that podcast. This is the 5th. So we started the end of 2020. This is the 5th season. If you count like the end of and beginning of every calendar year. So we did like 4 months in 2020. So now that we're in 2024, this is actually the 5th calendar year that we've been doing that podcast, which is insane. It feels like we just started it.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know. I had started to write some, I think it's blogs for the Turtle Room about like different experiences that I had had just being married to somebody who loves turtles, because I'm not that type of person. And so from there, we kind of just started talking about different topics. And then we started talking about writing a book. We were inspired. Oh God, I don't remember the name of the book. Confessions of a Turtle Wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember who wrote it?
Eliza? No, that's
Eliza.
not right.
Perfect. Yep. Eliza. Keep going.
I don't remember. I'm
You
so
like
sorry.
combined her first name and her last name. Anita Salzberg, or Eliza for short.
I thought you said I was right when I said it.
I know. I just wanted to see.
off.
No, I just wanted to
Oh,
see what would
boy.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so just like our experience of just being on complete opposite views of everything in life, especially when it comes to turtles, I suppose. Not that I'm against turtles. It's just not something I envisioned when I was going to fashion school at URI when I was 18 years old.
So now that you're not 18 years old, though, and you've been married to Anthony for a long time and having turtles in your life this entire time, while you guys do discuss it in the book, potentially what life would be like if that wasn't the case in the future, which species in your home or in the greenhouse, in the basement, would be the one that you would want to stick around most?
Wouldn't or would?
Would. Like, maybe you're sentimental about it.
Good question.
Oh, that's tough. I really do love the spider tortoises a lot.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think it's the spider tortoises. I do like, I obviously don't like them enough because I can't think of their name right now. What are the tortoises when you first walk in?
The star tortoises?
Yeah, I like the star tortoise. I don't like them enough because I don't even remember what their name. So definitely the spider tortoises.
Well,
Okay.
I prefer tortoises over turtles anyway. I just don't like turtles at all.
she thinks they're cuter. Yeah, but the stars are so active, you know? They're like the diamondback terrapins of the tortoise world. They're always looking for food and stomping around. At least ours are. Whereas the spider tortoises, they're cute, they're awesome, they're symbolic, they're important. But they sleep for like, you know, more than half the year. We hatched a spider tortoise today.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Awesome. Shannon, what were we gonna name it?
Oh shoot.
Cupid.
First name is Pixis.
Pixis Mahomes.
Pixis Mahomes, not Mahomes. Mahomes?
No, it's Mahomes.
Okay.
Mahomes is
All right.
better, yeah.
I
All
think
right.
Mahomes is better.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
For anybody that doesn't know, because I would have known this before yesterday, I'm pretty sure that was a Chiefs reference.
It is.
From the Super
It
Bowl.
is, yeah.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
58, yes. Kevin is not a football fan, but he is a Swiftie, so that saved him there.
Wait, really?
No, not true at all.
Oh. I'm a Swiftie. I got excited. Okay.
No.
We're Swifties in this household, right, Shan? The whole house.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't have a choice, but yes.
Penny will sing lyrics, but they're wrong lyrics. She makes up her own words. It's pretty good.
That's probably how Taylor
I'm
started.
a fan and I do that too. Yeah. So
So, Shannon, this was your first book you wrote, correct?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say like, I mean, yes, I did write my parts of the book, but Anthony really was the one who did a majority of it.
Okay.
Putting it all together, stringing it all together, I
Sure.
should say.
Okay. I would say that I almost enjoyed your commentary in the book more than Anthony's.
I did
Because
too.
I have a similar mindset to Anthony on a lot of things. So seeing your
Yes.
side of it really opens my eyes to maybe what my wife's going through. You know, so if
Mhm.
you're watching something or you're listening to a podcast for a short period, you know, you'll get some of those right off the cuff remarks, which is great. Unless like, I know when my wife went on your podcast, you guys felt like she pulled punches too much. And not to give anything away, but I almost feel like you guys pulled a little bit of punches in the books because this is finite, right? It's in print. It's not going to be deleted and whatnot. So maybe that's the case with this. But I really did enjoy your commentary a lot throughout the book.
Thank you. There were like 2 or 3 chapters at the end where Anthony was getting really frustrated with me, and he was like flipped out one Sunday night about how I hadn't finished writing and I needed to do it. And then I sat at the computer and I was trying to write it, but I was mad. And so I don't remember what I wrote, but he told me whatever is in the book was really not very nice. So I have to go back and take a look at those chapters to see what I wrote.
So
Yeah,
was
I
it
think
one,
that's
it was one of the
okay.
last few chapters, right?
Was
So
it? I
I
don't know how
actually
he.
I think
Yeah.
I know which ones you're talking about, and I felt the sass, and I love that. I actually
Yeah.
had the opposite impression that Kevin did. I felt like I loved that there were shots fired. I love that because obviously, you know, it's Kevin can identify a little bit better with Anthony's perspective because he also has a wife who's maybe not as interested in turtles as him. And I think for anyone in the animal field, we all have a partner who's not necessarily interested in animals. So I loved hearing your perspective because I'm the animal person, and just hearing from someone who's not necessarily an animal person, dating someone who is just, I loved it. I loved the tone and the shots, and it was great. I loved it.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I
Thank you
agree.
so much.
I think you go up to write those chapters, and in your mind, it's I could totally murder him right now, which is probably accurate. Like not even saying that figuratively, but it comes off as extra sassy. because it's writing, right? It's like one of the reasons why you have to be careful when you send text messages to people, because they're going to interpret it their own way. So I agree, Emily, that it just comes off as very like extra sassy in those chapters, and I'm here for it. Like I was totally all about it and still am. So I think it's okay. And it's like any type of art. You create what you create for you, and then you hope that other people will appreciate it. And I think that's really what we did here. We wrote it for ourselves, and we just kind of told the story. Just like if the four of us were driving, and I give this example all the time with this book, but if the four of us were driving to Hamburg together or to wherever together, and we were just hanging out and chatting, like those stories were told by the two of us the same way they would be in the car, where we're kind of going back and forth to tell the same story, but have maybe a little bit of a different perspective. Sometimes the perspective is a little bit more aligned. And I just think it makes for interesting reading.
And for any of our supporters,
I could be wrong,
our listeners or viewers, however you're finding this, I think that if you are the animal person in your relationship and your partner isn't necessarily an animal person, this is a great read for you to get some perspective on what the other person might be feeling or interpreting. And then even for us animal people, it's good for us to read, or the other way around. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's just everyone can take something away from this. So I also loved the tone of the book. So whose decision was it, Anthony or Shannon, to have the book where it was a few lines from Shannon and then a few lines from Anthony? I love that. The way you did that. Whose idea was that?
Shannon, tell that story.
So when Anthony and I think we were engaged, and I don't know why, at the time I picked up a book at like Barnes and Noble, and it was by Juliana Rancic. I don't know if you remember her. She was on E! She was like a celebrity reporter or whatever, and she was married to a guy from The Apprentice or something, some guy. Anyway, they wrote a book about their like first year of marriage, and it was in that way of like he said something and then she wrote, and it went like that, and we kind of read it together. And that was kind of when we started talking about it. I'm like, let's read, because we didn't even have the book anymore. Like, let's buy the book again and like read it and see, how we can make our book like that. Gosh, these like comments are so distracting.
They're so good though. They're so good. Oh my gosh.
So what I can do, if you guys want, Shannon, for right now anyway, I can take this overlay off, and if a question pops in, I can just pop the similar question up, so you're not getting every single bit of the conversation that's going on in the different channels.
It's okay. I prepped her on this already. She knows that she doesn't have to read them. You can if you want to, but just be careful.
I know.
Don't fall into the trap of reading while you talk. If you read while you talk,
that's I can't.
Then you go, it happens to me. It happens to all of us. Yeah. There's some really good ones.
I can't see it right now. If there's some good ones, shout them out. I can't.
There's good ones.
I'm using right now.
We should answer some of these. Let's just go down the list.
Yeah. So that's what I figured we would do.
Shannon, how can I get my wife to talk less about Travis Swift and more about Flava Marginata?
Well, the first problem I have with that is it's not Travis. It's got to be Jason Kelsey. You got to go Jason Kelsey and not Travis. It's going to die down. People are talking more about Usher today, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But Flavos,
they don't do it for you?
Flavos are okay. No, they're like...
Flavos are okay. Okay.
I'm with you.
Like,
I'm with you, Shannon.
when you tell me, I feel like he's always like, don't your Flavos give you the most eggs? I feel like
not last year. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Ooh.
There's a. Hi, Madalena. There's a Flavo on our book. That little turtle icon on the book is a Flavo.
Did you personally draw that one?
I think the problem is that the person's trying to talk about Flavos and not a cooler. Is it species or species?
It's always species, plural or singular. It's always species. Tell your friends, please. She loves to call a single species a species. She loves that. She's the one with the biology degree, but that's okay. Chris said, I told my wife when I met her that reptiles would always be in my life and it was a package deal. Did Anthony tell you something similar?
No, I think the moment I realized that it was a package deal, if you can believe it, was when we were married and I was holding our daughter who was about 1, and our electric bill had skyrocketed so much from the turtle lights, and these people from the state came to like do an analysis of our house, and the guy said, it's the turtle lights, that's the problem. And I remember Anthony saying something along the lines of like, this is my whole life, as I was like holding our daughter in my arms and thinking like, how are we going to afford food this week with our electric bill? And being like, oh, okay, that's when I kind of knew it was the package deal, was about that moment.
That's not in the book, and that should have made it into the book. That's a good one. So when we first met, we were both social workers, and we had mutual clients who were part of my program and a part of her program. And both of us were trying to help them get back into the job market, gainful employment, but doing it in different ways. Shannon was more of like a teacher in a classroom setting for groups, and I was more like one-on-one, like working with them and taking them out and stuff like that. So anyway, we had mutual clients, and that's how we met. We talked on the phone first, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like I love her voice. She has a very pretty voice. And I remember thinking like, oh, I hope that she's as pretty and delightful as she sounds on the phone. And anyway, we met in person, and I was totally into her, and vice versa. And we were, I was trying to be cool and everything. And one of my clients comes up and says, "Did you tell her about your turtles?" And nothing makes you feel more like a Mac daddy than having, this lovely woman of a certain age come up and embarrass me like that. So anyway, I kind of played it off a little bit, but thanks to that interaction in that situation, she did actually hear about my turtles the first time we ever spoke in person.
So,
but I don't think anybody I mean, maybe you guys can disagree, but like, of the three of you, when you initially meet a person, are you coming off very strong about how much you like devote your life to these animals?
no, you gotta temper it.
Right. I don't remember it. Like, I remember it being like, oh, I like turtles, like kind of like, oh, I love to go to Nordstrom and buy shoes. Like, it's something I enjoy doing, but it's not
Red flag.
Like something. Yeah, like it was a beige flag, it wasn't a red flag at the time. I don't like, you're saying that, yeah, that person brought that up, but that could be like anything, I didn't really, even when I went to your house, well, your parents' house, you had a couple turtles, but like, I still didn't think anything of it. I don't know. Idea. Maybe that's just,
I had like,
no, I didn't.
I had like 20 in my bedroom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Were you doing Red sliders?
Yeah, I had red sliders. I don't know. I had a cooter, which is a type of turtle, Shannon. Don't get excited. I had I don't know. I had a menagerie. I had a couple map turtles, painted turtle. There was a menagerie for sure. Mix and match, kind of Pokemon mentality. Like I've only got 20 turtles, so I got to have one of each or whatever.
20 tanks in your room?
No, not 20 tanks, 20 animals. So there was definitely like, like an aquarium over here that has 6. And I didn't have a lot of large adult turtles because I had a college degree. I had a job. I could afford to live on my own, but I was choosing not to because I was saving money for like a down payment on a house, which is why Shannon was attracted to me, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you saving money for the house so that Shannon would be attracted to you?
No. I had already been doing that. I was pretty frugal. I would, buy turtles and maybe a little bit of clothes, maybe go out to eat a couple times a week. And beyond that, I spent money on nothing. So I was totally banking it. And I had like a little bit of a nest egg by the time we met.
So for anyone that buys the book, you'll learn more about that when you hear about Anthony's first hotel choice that he brought Shannon to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it does tie into that, to the Scottish Inn. Yeah.
Kevin, are you able to bring up some photos from the book of them in their early years?
I actually don't know that I can, to be honest. I'm sorry. Let me I probably can, but what's going to happen is my screen's going to go black. You guys can keep going, but I apologize. I'm going to disappear for a minute while I do that.
When you disappear, can you still talk or?
Yeah, I think so. We'll test this out and find out momentarily.
Let's see. This is going to be exciting.
Can you see me? And can you hear me?
No, I can't
We
see you.
cannot see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
But you
sound
can hear me.
terrific.
Perfect. Then this will work out.
You're
Can
like
you guys keep
speaking
talking
now.
while I'm working in the background, please.
Okay, cool. So I have another question too. When you started the writing process, or even if you were in the draft process, what were your initial assumptions of how the process would go with Anthony? And then what was the actual process like in comparison?
It's so funny because like every aspect of our life is organized because of me, because Anthony is just not an organized person at all. And I don't know, like it was just so weird having the roles reversed for one specific thing. He was really good about it, and he was making outlines and like updating me and telling me about like the whole process. And it's so funny because at times it actually drove us apart, because like he was getting really frustrated with me, probably because I was like, he wrote a book already. He knows what he's doing. I'm in good hands. I don't need to worry about it. I just have to type what I need to type, and then he'll plug it in, and then we'll just have a book. So it was a very strange process of him just being, and he lives for writing and I don't. And so that was also really weird. We're like, he could write 3 chapters a night, but I'm like in bed by 7:30. And so like, it was very strange. It was fun though. It was really, the best part about it was just going back and rereading things, especially like when you don't realize a person was feeling a certain way, going back and seeing like his point of view of something. But I give him all the credit for the book because he definitely put it together. And usually it's hard to rely on him for certain things, but for this, he really like pulled through for us.
Did I hear that right? Did you say it's hard to rely on me for certain things?
I would say about 95% of things.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you were like being very nice, and then it kind of slipped by, and I'm like, wait a minute, did she just throw that in at the end, that it's hard to rely on me?
You're forgetful. You're
Yeah.
just a forgetful
I
person.
am the world's largest walking billboard for ADHD and what it means. Like you just said, like I don't organize anything, but when it comes to the book, because I want to, it's like that big pie in the sky, idea that, I mean, when I'm like, this is actually healthy, because unhealthy me is all ideas and no book. All idea, like I'll start writing 15 books and finish none of them. So to actually get to this point and to actually get organized on something that I'm passionate about is a really nice step. It's still annoying, I'm sure, for you to deal with, because I'm just obsessed, but I always have been, obsessed about turtles, obsessed about writing. Before that, it was obsessed about basketball. Before that, it was obsessed about sports and collecting, I don't know, memorabilia and stuff like that I did when I was a kid. I don't know, whatever it is. So
I kind of want to turn the question back around real quick, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're about to say something, Emily. Sorry.
Okay.
What do you mean?
My question is, being that you become so passionate about a project and you want to run like headfirst into it and write the books, and Shannon's not there with it on like this part of it, right? Because turtles isn't her passion. Well, Shannon, we learned throughout the book about your hobbies and stuff that you're interested in. Now in life, being a mother of 2 and a hardworking wife and just killing it. If you were to write a book, something that you're passionate about, and you had Anthony get into the book with you, do you feel like you would be as stringent on him to drive the progress?
Good question.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, I would, but I'm like sitting here like, what would I ever write about? Like, I don't even know.
You could. You had a blog. There you go. There's a photo.
Oh, look at that.
You had the poor guy from the resort who was working like 18-hour shift. Can't even tip him. Resort rules.
Yeah.
Aww.
Sorry, these are overlays on you guys.
That's all right. Happiest place on earth?
Okay.
Not when your tooth is impacted. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I get on, but I have to tell you, Kevin, I have learned that how to like work with Anthony about things. I have to catch him, like if, especially like say something around the house that's like not working. Like it would be the same thing for if I came up with a book idea. Like I have to catch him at a specific time when he's not stressed about, like, fall into winter, never a good time because he's stressed about the animals. Spring into summer, also not really good because he's stressed about the animals. And then typically like right before he's leaving for a trip, I don't even talk to him anymore. Like we'll be in the office. That's my office there. And this is his desk here. Like I will put my headphones in and just like let him work. And like, that's it. And bring him lunch and dinner and just put it down on the desk and just let him be. Because I've learned now when to ask him. So the best time to ask Anthony for something is like if he's just finished something turtle related that he's really like the greenhouse. He finishes the greenhouse. That is my chance. After that's done, give him a couple of days of like R&R and then be like, I'd really love a garden in the backyard. Okay, sure. And then he'll be like, yeah, let's do it. But if he's got something turtle minded going on, there's no point in me even talking to him about any sort of project I want to get done.
That makes total sense. One for him, one for you, you know, or one for him and like 5 for you, because his products are always going to be way bigger than your projects when it comes to the animals, you know?
Yeah. Take it easy. Take it easy, Kev. Take it easy. You ever demolish and refurbish an entire bathroom by yourself?
No, I don't plan to.
No, me either, except I have multiple times because of my wife with nothing but YouTube, and it shows. Okay. It shows. And sometimes you get yourself into some really sticky situations.
All right.
Shannon,
can I tell you one really
your
quick
chance.
Oh.
No. This is for Shannon.
Yeah.
Is there anything you need him to work on right now? You can ask him in front of
No.
all of our listeners and viewers, and he has to say yes. Now's your chance.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's not true.
Do it.
That is
On
not
the
true.
spot,
I will say
let's do
no,
it.
Emily.
He has to. It's actually the rules. So, yeah.
I will say
I
no.
think he signed a waiver.
What's so funny is like a lot of it's like easy things. Like I just want him to switch my bulletin board, my vision board to that wall. But
is that all? Is that all?
I'm saying it's a lot of little things.
Yeah, it's so small.
It's like a 6 foot by 6 foot vision board.
I just took the dryer apart 3 times in the last week. I took the snowblower wasn't starting a couple of weeks ago, and I had to rebuild the carburetor. Okay, I grew up in low income housing. I didn't have to do snow removal, let alone snow blow. Okay, I don't know how to do anything. I took the carburetor apart. Who has done that? I did it for the first time the other week. I taught myself with YouTube.
No, you had a legitimate nervous breakdown, and rightfully so, because it was the anniversary of your dad's death. And I think you were just having a moment in the garage, and we just let you have that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you took the whole carburetor apart. You could have easily asked a neighbor to come help you. That was your choice. That was on you.
I'm not going to ask my neighbor to rebuild my carburetor in his spare time. Like at some point you have to step up and fix things, and it stinks, but like we don't have the money to go buy a new one. It was like $1,000 2 years ago. Fix it, Anthony. And it was, it's ultimately my fault because my ADHD butt left old gas in it last year. So I had to get the gunk out of the carburetor. So anyway,
we got a really good question in the chat. This is from Steve Baker, who is a Connecticut local. He's one of my favorite turtle people. And this question is for Shannon, of course. Other than turtles, if you could fill your house with any animal, what would you pick? His wife is all about cats.
I mean, we have 3 dogs. And I would love more dogs, but it's just too much work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's too much work.
Yeah.
They're a pain.
Yeah, I have 3 dogs also, and I'm over it.
Yeah, it's just, especially with like kids too, it's just, and because Anthony has so many turtles to take care of, it's like the dogs are kind of my thing now. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Amanda probably feels the same way. And Amanda's like me. She got a puppy recently, and like girls and I wanted to get a puppy after our dog passed away a couple of years ago. We didn't have to do that, and we did. I was just looking up dog adoptions today, but in my mind, I'm like, I could never take on another dog. Yeah. I wish I could. Maybe when our kids are like grown, but not right now.
Yeah.
3's our limit because you need to have VCA only allows you to have 4 pets, and we have 3 dogs and turtle. So yeah. So like if I need meds or something. Yeah.
No, Amanda's the same way.
It's for turtle.
She always yells at me. She's like, "Why do you get to have like 50 turtles and I can only have 3 dogs or 2 dogs?" I'm like, "Because it's different. The turtles encompass like this one small space, and those dogs roam everywhere, and they're jumping on me while I'm sleeping, and they're eating our kids' food when they're not looking. It's totally different experience." So yeah, 2 to 3 is I think totally. Is max. Unless you have like a farm.
I only have 3 dogs, and honey, you have 5 aquarium fish. That's not fair. Yeah, it is fair. Actually, it's not fair in the other direction.
So
I like the question from Sam. Could we ask the Sam question? How involved do you guys have the children be when it comes to the animals?
And Sam, thank you for the donations. It's very generous of you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jeez,
is that how that works? That super chat? No, it's a big deal. Shan, get out of here. We're a nonprofit organization.
Oh, I didn't know that's what that meant.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, thank you. Sam, Shannon doesn't think you're nice. Okay.
No, I thought this whole time when people were writing money, I thought it was like the price of our book. I was so confused. Sorry. Okay. So for our girls, I guess really Anthony should answer this because I don't know how involved he thinks the kids are. I would say they're not super involved. They don't have a huge I don't know. They're just not as interested in the turtles as I thought. At least one of them would be, but
yeah, Cambria's not really interested. She's our older daughter, and she's a people pleaser, but she's always been very like clean and proper. You know, even when she was a baby, she wouldn't get like food on her face. She was very clean all the time. So the turtles don't really fit in her, with her aura. Madalena is a little more messy, a little more ADHD, dare I say, a little more, her personality is a lot more like mine, and she appreciates the animals a lot. She just doesn't have the stick-to-itiveness to really do anything with them. She likes to use it as an excuse, and Shannon wrote about that in the book, that she uses it as an excuse to get out of things. So like Shannon will say, "Hey, in a minute we're gonna go pick up your room," and then she'll come to me and be like, "Daddy, do you want to go and hang out with the turtles?" I'll be like, "Yes, oh my gosh, let's go." And then Shannon comes screaming 5 minutes later, and I don't know why, because I didn't hear her. And she could have said it right in front of me too, but I don't listen because I've got the blinders on myself. So yeah, whatever.
Cambria does care when a turtle's dying. That's the only time when she cares.
They also both care when other kids care. So if Shannon and I both do educational talks a lot, usually if it's like below middle school, it's Shannon. If it's like middle school or above, it's me usually. So if Shannon does a talk for some younger kids and those kids are excited, then the girls become excited and proud. Mm-hmm. But it's a very fleeting thing that does not come up very often, but I've seen it many times over the years, sporadically. It just depends on what we're doing. We're going to do a presentation at the library later this year, and our kids will come because Shannon's going to be involved. A lot of times I do presentations and they don't come, but they'll come and they'll be helpers and they'll love it. But it's not all the time. It's not the norm.
Yeah, I think we're in a similar boat there. Because our children are around it 24/7, they're desensitized to it. It's just when they see other kids that are so excited, they're like, "Oh, I guess this is exciting." But to them, it's the norm, That's why we are turtle people, because growing up, we were around turtles more than other people were, and it just kind of stuck to us, I did a lesson today, and they were asking me about myself, and I was telling them about the turtle stuff, and they're like, "How'd you get into that?" Because it's weird to most people, And same boat. So I think your kids will have interesting stories growing up about it, but on a day-to-day, I wouldn't expect them to be overly excited about it unless one of them really starts getting into it the way you do personally.
And I think Bill McCord said to us once, like how his daughters, that there was a time where they were like really resentful towards the turtles. Am I wrong on that, Anthony?
No, I'm just the chats are funny.
Like a
Yeah,
just
so
fine.
I think there is a part of them that gets at times resentful towards the turtles. I don't know,
for
Kevin,
sure.
if your girls are like that or not, but I know that our girls can get like that. Well, not necessarily Cambria, but Madalena does sometimes.
I primarily do things before they wake up or after they go to bed. But I also don't have as nearly a large operation as Anthony. It takes me 20 minutes to do my entire rounds of like cleaning, feeding, everything. And I can do them in the morning before they get up.
Anthony, why does everybody think you're dying?
They're concerned that I'm not okay, that you're
A
Shannon's not
monster?
gonna like this. Yeah,
Why
Shannon's
am I
not gonna like
mean?
this. No, they don't think you're a monster.
Why are they worried?
What was it? No, was that what?
I was gonna pop up another
can't
question
remember
from
what-
the chat. That's pretty good.
Pop up a question.
Yeah, this is
Pop
from
up
our
a
buddy
question.
Michael. So, Shannon, knowing what you know now, what would you tell someone who's concerned that their significant other is too involved or obsessed with turtles?
So I think there just has to. I think if you have no desire at all to be involved in any of it, you should run, because I think that like I really do. I think it's like with anything, but like you have to show some sort of interest and some sort of knowledge. Like I don't go to every single thing with Anthony that he's involved in because he does a lot of different things. I don't go downstairs in the basement every single week. Sometimes, like there's weeks that go by and I haven't been downstairs, but I think that you have to be able to do certain things and share something in common with that. I'm not going to say hobby. What do you guys call it?
Passion.
I just, I call
Passion.
it. It's my life's work, man. It's a reckoning.
Yeah, the times where I've pulled back from it and have been angry or frustrated have been the times where we're both just like divided. And the times where I've been involved, I haven't regretted a moment of anything I've been involved in. Even the stuff that's like crazy, I don't know. I just think it's really important to make sure the person knows, and also just prioritizing like you do with anything, just Anthony has to know sometimes like he puts too much time and energy into it and he needs to also give that back to the family. So I think it just goes both ways.
Have you guys?
I think there's definitely something there. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Sorry, Kevin. I feel that for all of us, we're the animal-oriented ones. I keep bringing that point back just because it's nice for us to have someone who is just a different perspective. And I think we all need someone like you, Shannon, in our lives, because as we're clearly seeing, you put so much into the family and the relationship, and so that Anthony can have this passion that he has, right? And he wouldn't be able to do any of that without you. So I think kind of going back to what this person said, first of all, can you be too obsessed with turtles? Can you really? Yeah. No. But there is something there for that. So I mean, I think we can all thank you, Shannon, because it's people like you that we all need in our lives. So let's get back onto, there was some questions here in the chat that we had too. I wanted to circle back around to Sam's question when he asked how involved do you guys have the children when it comes to the animals. Shannon, I don't think I realized that you do outreach for Anthony for some of the younger kids. Can you talk a little bit about what you talk about in the programs that you do for him or with him?
Yeah, so we started when our daughter was in preschool, our oldest daughter, and we went in and we did a demonstration, not demonstration, but we brought in turtles and we talked about different things. With the younger kids, very young. So last year I did one for our daughter who was in kindergarten and our other daughter in 3rd grade. So in kindergarten, we talked about what does it mean for something to be extinct? And kind of relating to like movies, you know. So we brought the spider tortoises and we talked about like, do you remember the movie Madagascar, and kind of like tie it into things that they might recognize. You know, what's the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? What, like, you know, what do you see in your yard? And different questions like that. We do a little bit more with like some of the older kids, like the 3rd grade. I feel like we went into more detail about certain things. But really it's just showing them different animals. You know, they're used to seeing us, you know, the painted turtles in Connecticut. A lot of them will say like, oh, I had a snapping turtle in the backyard. But to like be able to see things from like around the world, it really is like the coolest thing to, especially with the younger kids, to watch how excited they are.
And do you bring the girls with you when you go to do these programs?
Trying to think. So we've done a couple. Well, we started doing some virtually, obviously during COVID, and they were like our helpers on the side. So one of our Madalena like had taken like gloves and was like handing me the turtles and tortoises. At their schools, Madalena helped, but Cambria didn't. She wanted to be with her friends, so she just kind of like sat back. I think they like it when like their friends are involved. So I'm sure the one in our local library, like they're going to come because I bet some of their friends will be there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we haven't had like an opportunity to take them to like other schools, because the problem is like if we're going to a school, they're in school. So we can't always bring them.
I'm sorry. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I had like an experience of being a preschool teacher. So I remember when Anthony was going to do his first talk for a young group, he had this like huge PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, you can't do that. Like that, they're going to have the attention span for like one of those things. So he, you know, that's kind of how we started. And I was like, why don't you just have me come and you can help me? Because he couldn't come last year to one of them. And I didn't know what I was saying. I was passing out turtles I shouldn't have been. And it was really bad. Some kid got bit by a turtle that was like this big that I thought was harmless, and it wasn't. So
she came back. She was like, "Oh my gosh, one of the turtles bit someone." I'm like, "Yeah, you shouldn't pass that out. Like, I don't know why you would do that." We talked beforehand about not passing any turtles out, but you know, it's all right.
Honestly, they're hard for all of us.
Everyone's fine. Yeah. Yeah. There's like 200 kids that day. Like, we don't need to pass anything around. That's okay.
And I have
an intimate gathering with 3 kids, maybe, but yeah. Go ahead, Emily.
I'm certain I know the answer to this from Anthony and Kevin's perspective, but I am curious from your perspective, would you like for the girls to be more involved with the turtles, or are you just kind of take it or leave it?
I mean, so I do feel bad for Anthony in that, like, you know, I was hoping at least one of the 2 would have a very strong interest in them, or both. I mean, that would have been nice too. But Anthony and I, for a very long time, have been very on the same page with like, we're never going to push our kids to be into anything. We have a lot of friends who like want their kids to specifically do some, you know, sort of sport or whatever. And I just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay too. I try to like not, when they have those moments of like resentment, like I try to explain to them like the importance of what he's doing and why it's so important to him. Yeah, I would love for him to have like a little buddy to help him out downstairs, but they get excited about certain things. They get excited about eggs. They like to, you know, look at the pond that we have in the backyard. I mean, the turtle basement is what it is. It smells like a turtle basement. So I think, you know, he has a much better chance of us going in the greenhouse.
Shannon, I have a cure for you for that. I'll talk to you offline about, but I put it in my house. It has changed the game for me on a romantic level as well. As far as my wife not resenting me for the whole house smelling like turtles. Fortunately for me, I can't smell it. My nose is dead. But for any normal human being that walks in my house, it's definitely like you're going to the reptile section at a zoo or a pet store. And this one thing that we purchased truly changed that. So I'll tell you about it later.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys smell it? Because Anthony will be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't smell. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Our whole house smells.
Don't do that. Nope. Don't blame that. Don't put that evil on me, because I have a very good nose. You know that my nose is better than yours. And I'm not here to tell you that my turtle basement doesn't smell, but it does ebb and flow. There are days where it smells, a little maybe on the humid side. And then there are days where it smells very bad and I've got work to do.
Yeah.
It just happens, it just depends on what I need to clean and who did what and what water bowl and who dumped what and who didn't eat what and whatever. Like Missouri Day always smells. Missouri tortoise smells after a few hours that you leave it out. So anyway,
and
there's just things like that.
I would like to say I was more interested when he had less too. Like when we had less and it was like, I knew exactly what we had and like what the different names of the things were. Like I did have more of an interest. It's just so hard to keep up with it now to know, like he'll tell me we have something. I'm like, seriously? And he's like, you knew we had that. And I do trust him. It's just, there's so much. I can't keep track of it anymore. Oh, we're getting yelled at. Our girls are getting yelled at.
She said, what? You're really loud. I said, keep it down. Quiet.
So I have a book question I want to ask prior to, because we're blasting through this. It's almost 8:00 already. And,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't really get to discuss.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So the first chapter of the book is all about how you guys met through the career fair and whatnot. But it's the second chapter of the book that really grabbed me. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to read this whole thing. And for those watching, it's a fun read. I read it over the course of about 2 weeks, maybe 20, 30 minutes a day, just casually in between stuff. But the second book is about their first trip to Hamburg and things of that nature. And while I don't want to get into the full details of it, and I'm not going to mention like the people's by name right now, but Shannon, at that point, since it was very, very early on, like you were just really getting to know Anthony still, you spent more of the day with Anthony's friend than you did with Anthony. I've been in situations when I was younger where I've started like a girlfriend's friend more than the girlfriend. And I'm like, am I making the right choice and whatnot, So in this regard, the day that you spent there, did you start having like fleeting like wonderings like, should I start leaning towards this guy instead of that guy?
I had like the best time ever with Anthony's best friend at that reptile show. And he was such a gentleman. I remember, I don't even think I've ever talked to Anthony about this, but I remember John, putting his arm around me to like direct me through the crowd and everything. And Anthony was like nowhere to be seen.
What a gentleman.
But I was in a really bad place.
You guys left me. Let's just put that clear. Let's make that clear. We walked in together, the three of us, and then here's whatever person like, hey, Anthony, I want to talk to you about turtles. And then you and John are like, this is boring. Bye.
There's a limit, right? You get
fine.
When you bump into a person, you get a 2-minute time with that person. And
act like you had that much patience. Yeah. It was like 2 seconds probably.
No, I didn't. So to get Kevin, to answer your question, no, I never felt like, I could like John. I do remember driving home thinking, I don't know if this is going to work out.
Yeah.
But because I was in the middle of a really bad breakup, like a long-term boyfriend. And I can remember a family member calling me, not really knowing that I had already broken up and that I was already seeing somebody new. And they were like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm driving home from Pennsylvania. And I just remember them being, well, from where? And I was like, I am not answering this question right now. Because if I say I just left a reptile show, I don't even know what's going to happen right now.
Were you early on anyway? I'm sure not now, clearly, but early on, were you embarrassed? Like you're like, yeah, I'm with a guy that has 40 turtles. And they're like, what kind of murder is this? It's
so funny that you asked that because like family members, I don't have Facebook. So family members have reached out to me and been like, oh, you guys are writing a book together. What is it about? And I'll explain it to them. But like when Anthony was like, we have to start promoting the book or whatever. And I do have Instagram, but it's only like my close friends and family. But like, I'm like, I can't post this. Like, they're going to think I'm a lunatic. I'm writing a book about turtles. Like, no, like even now to this day, I feel awkward having the conversation. Like when the kids are in school and I'm at their school and they're like, oh, my dad has over 300 turtles. And I'm like, don't say that. And luckily Maddie's of an age where people are like, oh yeah, 300 turtles. Yeah. But Cambria, she says it, she's in 4th grade. So she knows what she's talking about. Like it can be very uncomfortable at times. Because then you have to like explain like, no, it's not like we have pets. And then the next question we always get, well, where are they? You know, and then I don't want them to not have friends because they think we have like tortoises roaming around like our house. Just, I don't know. It's difficult. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I still feel that way at times. Like it is a strange thing to talk about. Oh, Charlie, you're so sweet.
I wanted to pop Charlie's up real quick because 1, he's spot on, and 2, but in the book you guys mentioned how Charlie's one of your favorite people. And I think it's a good opportunity for you guys to maybe say why specifically, because different dynamic with both of you.
I adore Charlie for every reason. I think he's a beautiful person in every way, and I love Shannon. Just his imperfections are something I love. Every little quirk, I think he's just terrific. Now I worship the ground he walks on, and vice versa. Shannon's relationship with Charlie is different. Is that fair?
What's your relationship with Charlie like?
No, they love each other. They love each other, but they like to
yes
mess with each other.
I do love you more, Mark.
They like to mess with each other a little bit. Mark is like the dream come true that my 3 ladies here have been wishing for. Mark is like,
that is when the girls will go in the basement, is when Mark is over. Mark, they will only go if Mark is there.
They would trade me for Mark, I think. The 3 of them.
Mark's awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to keep Mark on topic for 1 second because Mark has been, and I'm not good at this, sorry. Mark has been instrumental even in the short term for me understanding plants. I know that's been the same with you, Anthony.
Yeah, totally.
And, helping us kind of grow things. So I want to pop up from the book specifically.
You got that?
This right here, yeah.
You got that? He's been immortalized. He's been immortalized in the world of very important literature.
Yeah, and Anthony's 9 foot tall, so Mark's pretty big himself.
I was crouching down for him.
Yeah, I had to scroll up to see Anthony's face in that one. There you go.
I did the thing where you like sit down a little bit, like stick your butt out to get a little bit shorter. Yeah.
Getting some squatting for him.
Yeah, we don't all know that.
Emily,
none of us are as tall as you.
Emily, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying to word this properly.
Did you just get nervous? Did you just get nervous because I'm nervous?
Me? Yeah. I'm like, where's this going?
Yeah. I have no idea.
No.
I will not be held accountable for whatever happens right now.
Okay. So I'm very protective of Anthony when it comes to like some of the people in the reptile world who I think I didn't realize there were so many people that were up to no good, I guess we could say.
Scandalous.
Okay. Okay. So there's a lot of shady things that kind of go on sometimes with, I mean, I'm sure it's with any, any passion that people have.
Thank you.
So I only usually hear about like the male perspective of some of the things. I don't hear as much. I know that there aren't as many women in this field. I know there's more that like keep, kind of coming up. So do you find that the women are like that as well?
I don't know that many women in the field. I know a lot of women who are zookeepers, but in the herpetology field, it is very heavily male dominated. And I don't know too many sketchy women in herpetology. I will say that one thing I have seen is that women in herpetology sometimes, not always, but I do see this a lot. It pops up on my Instagram. They will have a partner who has a lot of reptiles, for example, and then the women will pose in not necessarily scantily clad, but the photo is not necessarily just about the reptile. And I feel that I wish, like when I'm posting a picture with a reptile, I'm wearing cargo shorts. I don't have any makeup. I'm very disheveled. It's not about me, it's about the animal. And that's how I like to present myself. And I find that that's not necessarily the norm for females in herpetology. Now, in the field, no one looks good. So if it's a field biologist who's working with reptiles, then we're probably covered in dirt and we have been outside sweating in the sun all day. But if it's someone who is a private keeper, I feel I just don't identify that well with them. But again, I don't know that many women in herpetology, so it's hard for me to answer that. I will say I have more recently become aware of how many, what was the word you used? Sketchy people there are in the reptile community, and I wasn't aware of it before. It was that book that I read. What book was it? It was the one that you recommended to me, Anthony. Do you remember that book?
Stolen World, Lizard King.
The Lizard King, yes.
Okay.
After I read The Lizard King, it really opened my eyes to what was going on in some parts of the reptile community. I won't say it's all reptiles, or I'm sorry, I won't say it's all people, but I am more aware of it now. So maybe give me a little bit more time with my eyes open now to see, but I hope that answers your question.
No, it does. It's just that everyone I've met many amazing like friends of Anthony's that are males as well, but like the female reptile people that I've met have just been really, really nice. And I've never heard Anthony say like, oh, this person's doing this like kind of, sketchy thing. So I was just curious about that. Sorry, that's totally off topic and that's on me.
No, really. That's okay. Yeah, I appreciate that just because that really does kind of open my eyes. You probably know way more women in herpetology than I do because all of the people I know who are in herpetology is through the zoo field. So we're all zookeepers, so it's mostly women. So I would say we're more in the zoo community than necessarily the reptile community, if that makes sense. So you probably know a lot more reptile women than I do. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to point out that it's not necessarily people and reptiles, it's just people. Like
for sure. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Definitely.
And no matter what you're doing, people are going to find an angle to do something, that makes it better for them and worse for somebody else.
No, definitely. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound like I was just
no, not at all
saying.
I'm not taking offense. This is a question about women. I'm not a woman. I just wanted to point that
Sam
out.
Sam says women are all sketchy.
You're so sweet, Kev.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Let's see here.
Well,
Case Leone is awesome. Andrew's wife as well. Sorry, just cut you off, Emily.
Oh, no, that's okay. Go ahead. I actually thought we could start talking about your wives. So Kevin, you're involved in this too. We know that Turtley Devoted is coming out on Valentine's Day, and you don't have to answer this because your wives might be watching, but do you guys have anything special planned for Valentine's Day for your wives? Anthony, you probably should nod your head yes, and then just say you can't talk about it yet.
I certainly do not have anything planned. Nothing. Shan, do you have anything planned for me?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to snowblow over my wife. And thank you for saying aw, like that was sweet. Kev, what were you going to say? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your husband stinks.
Then she has something planned for you.
I would love to hear what Shannon has going, but I don't think she wants to say it on air, I'm assuming. So
I think she should, so then I know what I have to try to pull together last minute here. right?
Here,
Is
I
that
got
fair?
an idea. Listen,
Does
watch this,
Amazon
everybody.
does Amazon
So Shannon, no, we'll pull Anthony back on.
that was funny.
Dude, that
Does-
was great. Shannon, he's going to
That's
love that
awesome.
so much.
Does
Yeah.
Amazon deliver in snowstorms? I'm asking for a friend because it's going to be a
Ah.
snowstorm tomorrow, and then the next day. No, honestly, I just got back from LA, and on Valentine's Day, why'd you roll your eyes like that? On Valentine's
Nothing.
Day, I have like a big presentation for a leadership group, and that's the day that the book comes out, which I thought was an awesome opportunity to do 2 for 1. So we're going to be promoting the book, and we'll have like a table to sell the book and my veterinary book at the same time, and I'll be speaking about the veterinary book to a veterinary leadership group. But Shannon can't come because our
Sure,
daughter's
you
sick.
invite her?
Our daughter's sick. No, we were supposed to do it together. Yeah. So I don't know what they're yelling about, but it sounds great. Is that our kids or your kids, Kev?
No, my kids are out.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
That's my kids. Yeah. So anyway, we got that going on. We were supposed to have like a day together on Valentine's Day, but that's not happening now. So it's just a bunch of excuses for why I'm a bad husband and I don't have anything planned for my wife.
So Amanda was the great wife in this regard. She planned a trip. She actually, I don't know for any of you that watch The Daily Show, Jon Stewart is coming back, and she got us tickets.
Oh my gosh, I'm
yeah.
so jealous.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I'm jealous of myself. I'm pretty pumped on
Ooh.
it. But we were
That's
set to go
awesome.
tomorrow, and then we found out after the fact. So tomorrow's the second day, and he's only hosting on each Monday, so he's not going to be the host.
Oh
And
no.
then it is what it is. But then on top of that, with the snowstorm coming, kids' schools are canceled. We don't know if we're even going to go anymore. We would have had to go super early to get in line, like 4 hours prior. So we're going to have probably a more laid back local Valentine's. We usually do this New Year's tradition where we get Indian food, like a wild amount of Indian food, and we eat over the course of like 2 to 3 days. So maybe we'll just do something like that since we didn't do that this year.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the 4 of
I'm going to
us.
be in
But
Dallas
Emily,
for my Valentine's Day.
yeah. What do you got going on in Dallas?
Exciting. I'm going to a conference. It's a zookeeper conference, and we're trying to be accredited facility for Riverside, and so I'm hoping to get down there, meet some people, introduce ourselves as a facility so that we can hopefully start the process of becoming accredited and network, take some workshops. So I'm really excited for that, but if it wasn't there, my dog would be my Valentine. So nothing exciting.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Are you for accredit? Oh gosh, I can hear myself. Are you going for AZA or ZAA?
I heard that.
That was bad.
We are going
What does that mean?
for
I'm sorry.
ZA. We're such a small facility right now. It's a little bit easier for us to become ZA. However, I think if we ever decide to become AZA, all of my policies are to accommodate both requirements. So if we decide we want to be AZA down the line, that's totally fine. We can do it. It should be an easier transition with the way I roll policies. But I think like ZAA, I like a lot of the programs that they put out for the zookeepers. They have a lot of resources for us. And I know a lot more ZAA facilities in my area with keep I'm familiar with. So yeah, that's hopefully this year. I'm hoping this is the year. I have been working on the application and programs and policies I had to write for about 2 years now. I had to handwrite every single policy. So hopefully, fingers crossed for me.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
hearing
I'd
about
love to hear more. I'm real excited to hear that you're doing it because I'd love to hear more. You know, as we look at, you know, we had a lot of involvement with the AZA and their SSP programs and things like that, and then they basically didn't even really give us the benefit of even really chatting with us very much about any of it, and just kind of stopped contact several years ago when the AZA decided to really limit their collaboration with private folks for across most of their SSPs and make it at the very least close to impossible. Never say never, but close to impossible to collaborate with people on the private side. So the ZAA is something that a few of us have been talking about, potentially trying to look into, but I really don't know anything about the ZAA besides the fact that they're not the AZA. So looking forward to learning more. I mean, there was a great Colonia cast episode with one of the head people from the ZAA, which was really great. And he happens to be a turtle person who brought a lot of the the Australian species that are only at like the Baltimore Aquarium to the US. So anyway, it's something that's always been in the back of my mind. So I'm really personally, what's the word I'm looking for?
Interested.
Selfishly interested in what you're doing there. So that's great.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Any questions you have, I'd be happy to answer them. Now let's talk about, we'll bring it back to your book. It's starting to get late and we're running a little bit out of time. Where is your book available for?
That's a great question. Shannon, where's our book available?
Amazon.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Okay. Is it the Kindle's available now?
It is. It is available for pre-order.
For people to buy. Yeah, for pre-order.
Pre-order. Yep. And so if you pre-order the Kindle version, you'll get it on the 14th.
And you can order it on the 14th.
And then the paperback and hardcover will be available on the 14th for purchase. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
How'd I do?
Yeah.
I said most of it, but pretty good. Yeah. What's the price point? Do you remember? Yeah, please, Emily, go ahead.
This is crucial. We simply cannot carry on until I have the answer. Is it a stock photo
I know,
or
I'm
is that
intrigued.
actually your feet? Like the shoes? Is that a real photo?
Shan?
Those were our engagement photo. It was one of our engagement photos.
Oh, I love that. Oh, it is photo. Is that, you have that in your background, right, Anthony? Is that back there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh yeah, such a cute photo. I love it.
Thank you.
It's a real book. I mean, that's the cool part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My daughters asked why I was on my tippy toes, as if they don't know their father.
Yeah. Well, they don't. So they still look at me like, who is this guy in my mom's house? But that's okay. That's okay. Daddy's tall, girls. Daddy's tall. It's okay. It was cool. Like we had an idea to do like a pair. I wear a size 18 shoe, which I don't even think my feet look big in that photo compared to like what they actually are. But because Shannon has big feet too. And I mean, you could only see her toes, but still, like, I don't know, like that to me doesn't look like a size 18 shoe. So anyway, I have like these big bog boots that I wear around the yard, and they're like big sloppy things that Shannon actually bought for me. They're amazing, but they're, I wear them to do nasty things. Sometimes I go to the Everglades and then leave them in my suitcase in a trash bag for months on end. So she rolls her eyes. So anyway, we thought of like putting that nasty big pair of size 18 bog boots next to a pair of like pretty heels, and then maybe having like a turtle sit in front of it and stage a photo and have that be the cover. But when we saw this, it just, I don't know, it felt like just like the right amount of nostalgic. So then, okay, if we use this one, we can't just have it called Turtley Devoted because that doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe we need to add a turtle somewhere in the mix, and that's where that little Flavo came from. Hopefully it works for people. I don't know. I think it's a nice cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's adorable. I love it. I think that was the thing that drew me in the most about it. And the pun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And let's do a quick shout
I appreciate
out to your podcast too, Turtley Devoted to You. Can they find that on Spotify? Is that on Spotify?
Yeah, so that's available really anywhere you get your podcast. So it's on like Apple iTunes and stuff like that. Apple Podcasts, iTunes. But we do host it through Spotify. Yeah. So it's available there as well. It's a good, it's fun. That was the thing about it. We love doing the podcast. I wish we did more of it. I hope we can get into it more. The last one we recorded, we had a lot of fun. We just bickered, but it was like fun. I always feel like we're like too real. And then we listen back to it afterwards. And I'm like, oh, that was actually really funny. I'm like giggling the whole time. So we had so much fun doing it. And then we had people reaching out to us and saying, I really liked the show. It was really, it was really funny, or it was really, relatable, because I go through the same things within my relationship. And the more that we heard that, the more I kind of thought, okay, maybe it's time to take that old Bill and Juliana Rancic book, which, by the way, we didn't have anymore, but I ordered off of Amazon so we could see it again to see what that format was like, because maybe we can do something like that. And it was fun. But I will say the thing that I struggled with was, like, you reach a certain point in creating the book that you can't go any further until the other person, someone's got to be chasing someone in every relationship, but with every project too. Hi, honey. Madalena, with all of her missing teeth, is here. And I was definitely chasing Shannon, and there were a lot of points where I could only go so far. I had to stop and wait and help her organize and that sort of thing. But I'm very proud of that we did this. And I'll just say that, like, Shannon is not as much of a writer as I am. I really enjoy it. Like, writing makes me feel good. It makes me feel accomplished. It's something I want to do. That's not something that Shannon wants to do and that makes her feel accomplished. So I think that's an important thing to call out here, when we're acting like I was the reason this happened. Like, Shannon's the reason this happened because she did something that is outside of her normal realm and outside of her comfort zone. So this would never happen without her really doing that heavy lifting part of it. And now, our kids will have something, and maybe there's, somebody that reads this and it resonates with them. Kevin, when you said chapter 2 is what hooked you in, I wanted to cry. I literally wanted to cry. The fact that you actually read something that we wrote and that you enjoyed it is like I don't care if it sells one copy. I don't care if no one else tells me they liked it. The fact that you, somebody who I really respect and trust, said that chapter 2 did it for you, it makes me so happy.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And
I mean, the thing that was important to me was, one, to have something for look back, but also when I met Anthony, the majority of wives that I met all were very into the reptiles too. And so I won't say like whose house, but we went to a house one time in Florida, and I just remember feeling so like such an outsider, because I had no one to really talk to, because the significant others were very much a part of it. And, Casey Leone, like, I'm very good friends with her, but she also is really like into the reptile stuff too. Stephanie Lamb too, like, she'll post pictures with snakes. Like, you will never see me do that. I think it's nice to have a perspective, because I felt like when I first met Anthony, there was no one I could talk to about, like, what is this life that I just married into and like that I'm a part of. I think now with Anthony having more friends, Kevin, obviously Amanda, we don't badmouth you guys as much as we used to, just because we're both so busy with the kids. But I mean, there's more people I can reach out to, like, what is happening right now. But when I first met him, it was like I had nothing. So it's always nice when Anthony says, like, there's younger people or whoever who reach out to him and are like, oh, I love the podcast, or I can't wait to give the book to my significant other because I think that they'll really understand what Shannon's going through. That to me is like, that means the most to me, because I just felt like I didn't have that when I first met Anthony.
Yeah, makes
well said.
sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You want Emily, someone to be like to talk crap with when you're at a reptile function, like I never had that the first couple of years. But I mean, Emily, you were at our house this summer when we had like the barbecue or whatever. And I just remember Amanda, Kevin's wife, and I just sitting in the screen and porch and just talking about everything. It wasn't just like what was going on in that moment, but just having that person to the turtle people were doing their things, but we were able to talk about facials and childcare and whatever else, like something that was like important to us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she would definitely write a book about skincare, and all I would write is that I don't do it. So I don't know how that would go. You know what? I would say that my wife is actually more obsessed with skincare than I am about turtles or tortoises. That's a factually true statement.
But can I say
You don't have to.
something in her
You don't have to put up with
defense?
that.
Huh?
That's her income.
You act like I may not make any income from this.
Well, is it your main source?
No. It's
No.
It makes no money for me whatsoever. The only bits of money I make go back into paying for like the high electricity bill that, you know, covers my passion. That's really it. You know, electric bills. If you're looking to get into animals or turtles or tortoises out there, just be aware your electricity bill is going to be insane unless you live in a place like Anthony where it's like a town controlled electric system.
It's
Shannon's
better
living
than
there.
it was in our it's better than it was in our old house, but it's still like as soon as every time something gets added onto, like the greenhouse, the pond.
How dare you?
It slowly, it does make an impact one way or another. It's definitely not my space heater in my office. It's definitely the greenhouse.
Yeah, definitely. No, we have probably between the larger house and the increase in the amount of animals and different spots that we have animals, we probably use, and most of it is me, 4 times more electricity than we did at our old house, and everything has gone up in price exponentially, and we're paying like less per month than we did in our old house because this town is so cheap. So yes, it makes a big difference. It's not cheap. Energy isn't cheap for anyone, but comparatively to anyone else in the world, our energy is dirt cheap.
And what he doesn't know is when he goes away for his business trips for a week, I just shut all the power off in the turtle basement. So
that's not true. It's not true. I check the cameras. And when you shut them off, the timers go out and you have to reset them, recalibrate.
I've got a whole system. You just don't know about it.
That is a lie. Nobody could set that one. There's one where the digital readout doesn't work, and I'm like, I have to like touch it just the right way so I could see what the numbers say. There's no way you could it takes me forever to redo that thing because I changed the day-night cycle at different times of the year. Am I doing it right now? Am I going too far into turtledom and I'm boring you? Is that happening?
Me?
I was actually about to go on a tangent and say that we're out the day at Riverside, and I had to go back and read a bunch of timers, and I'm getting angry thinking about it. So I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would know if she shut my stuff off because I would be, I would be so upset. You think I was upset earlier today after you like arranged my desk for me when I was gone? Yeah, you would have seen the real wrath. Yeah,
it's so funny when we bought our house. That was when he started to really get into like Turtle Forum, Tortoise Forum. I don't know, all the different forums and different things that he got into. And at that time, when you were on your computer at home, it was connected to the Wi-Fi or whatever. Like we didn't have like the phones to be whatever looking things up. And he would just make me so mad because we had one bathroom in our old house and he would be in there scrolling through Facebook, turtle stuff and turtle forums that I used to always shut the Wi-Fi off. This went on for like months. And then he'd be like, "What's wrong with the internet?" I'm like, "I have no idea." And then finally he'd come out of the bathroom and I'd be like, "Oh, thank God." And then finally he caught on to it and he'd scream at me to turn the Wi-Fi back on. But I can't do that now with cell phones. So
don't be all high and mighty like you guys don't scroll social media in the bathroom, okay?
I don't.
I do.
Thank you, Emily, for being honest. Kevin, you're dead to me because I know you just lied to me.
I don't. I'm on Facebook maybe 3 minutes out of the day. I'll go on Messenger app.
You don't. Thank you.
Yeah, but how often do I type on there?
I said scrolling social media. Messenger app is part of social media. Get out of here.
It's like texting you. I don't consider that. To me, like the death scrolling. You're just scrolling to look at what somebody did today. Like, that drives me crazy. I don't get it at all.
That wasn't the point of my statement, but
Sorry,
that's okay.
buddy.
Sorry, that was
It's
my
okay.
fault again.
No, it wasn't. It's fine. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the opportunity to do this, and thank you. You know, anyone who's taken an interest in this project at all, or that has, you know, said that they were excited about the book coming out, or told somebody about it, or shared a post or anything. Like, thank you so much. I get a lot of imposter syndrome when this happens, and this is something we've been struggling with, Shannon and I, the last couple of days, when I've just been kind of freaking out about everything that needs to happen and everything that is happening now. We can't change anything. It's set to come out. I can't change, you know, anything that's been published to Amazon. It's done. So I just want to say, you know, thanks for the interest and also for your patience with that as well. That it doesn't need to be perfect, but it's us, and I hope that that's enough for people to really, you know, enjoy it and get something out of it.
And Shannon,
Thank you guys for coming on. It was neat to have Anthony as a guest this time with you, Shannon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you have
Kevin.
to start your own podcast, the Animal Keepers Partners Support Group, and you can
Ooh,
Kevin's wife
I like
can
that.
be in on it with you, and you can just talk about all of the ways animal people just annoy the crap out of you. So we look forward to hearing your new podcast.
You know what, though? I would love to have somebody who has a different sort of passion on our podcast, to hear, like, other than reptiles, what's something weird that other people, like their significant other, enjoys, to hear their frustrations, because I guarantee it'll be the same as what we experience.
I'll be your next guest, and I'll talk about the skincare.
Yeah, let's do it, Kevin.
there was a show on that called The Marriage Ref. Do you remember? It was like executive produced by Jerry Seinfeld and hosted by Tom Papa, and they would have a panel of 3 celebrity judges, and they'd have a couple on to talk about their thing. And it was always a couple that was into something outlandish that that normal people would be like, really? You're trying to grow the world's largest pumpkin? Really? You built an entire tavern in your basement that's like an actual tavern that could like be open to the public? Like, really? You collect dollhouses and spend tens of thousands of dollars on dollhouses? So like, it's always some extreme. And I always think of myself when I think of that show. Once in a while it'll pop in my head and I'm like, I would totally be on that show. But I think I would win because I'm not doing anything reckless and I am trying to make the world a better place. So I think I would win because basically the judges would have to decide who's right. And the people that were really crazy to a not normal level, but like were mean about it, they lost. But the people that were like just not hurting anybody and were just into something crazy, they won. So I like to think I'm on that end of it. But
That's why I took
anyway.
a bunch of sedating medication before I came on here.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Is
I'm
there
proud
a
of you.
way
She's
that
it's
our,
way past her bedtime.
Can our supporters get a signed copy from you guys?
I do have copies here, and we can definitely like sell them and sign them and send them out if people are interested in it that way. But it would just have to go through us. So if you order through Amazon, it's print on demand. So they'll print it and then send it right out. Tony, I love that movie, Dinner for Schmucks. Yeah. So if people are interested in that, we could do that, but it would be like the $18 plus shipping. We can do that.
How much is it on Amazon?
I don't know what shipping would be though. It's 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you order it from Amazon, it'll come through Prime and it'll get delivered right to your door. So it's just, let me tell you, I learned through my last books, if you order through me, you're not getting it in anywhere near the Prime window. That's for sure. Like it'll take them 2 days. It might take me 2 months in the most extreme cases. Shannon, I could hear Full House on behind you.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
The laugh track.
Sorry, someone just slid a message under my door.
It's terrific.
Okay.
What's the message? Is it anything good?
Might as well.
Yeah, you should
Now
just
I
read
wanna
out
know.
loud first time.
I've been waiting to see when Steve comes into Full House, and she finally just wrote Steve's finally on the episode, so she's really excited.
This
is what happens when you're home alone, when you're stuck in your room and you have COVID and you just.
I can never tell you what it's like to actually be that parent. Like we were talking about how the kids aren't into the Turtles, but they're passing notes under the door about Full House of all the amazing things. But it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what you're into, Shannon. If you're into it, they're into it. And Full House is it.
Yeah.
Just not profound. I'm over here trying to save the world, and you guys are watching Full House reruns.
So true.
Goodness gracious. It's insane. It's insane. But that's okay. One day they might realize, but probably not. Anyway, we should probably end it here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I really had a lot of fun, and I appreciate Charlie being somewhat nice in the comments to me.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
Yeah. And thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, everybody.
It's
Thanks
nice
for the
to learn
support.
about you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you, Emily.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. Shannon and Anthony, thank you for joining us. This has been amazing. Look forward to see you guys all on episode 109 next month. Have a good night.
Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Bye, everyone.